JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 7th of September 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a view of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, so jumping into the charts now, the first one I want to quickly pick up here is on the German DAX. Now the index is trading nicely into positive territory above its 21-day EMA, so in a way everything seems to be working out as according to as what I was saying last week. Basically, we're having a nice rebound from this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 15th of June. So, of course, in a way, it kind of increases now the chances of a possible move further north. However, let's not rush into anything yet, because just to be on the safe side, probably a push above the 13,314 zone here could do the trick for more buyers, and that's the highest point of July here, and we do get another move here above it, because last week we did have a good move above it as well, but the bears kind of took control very quickly of this index. For now, what you could do here is keep your eyes on the 21-day EMA. If we get a nice daily close here above it, then there is a potential for this one to move higher towards this 13,314 zone. But if that gets broken, if that fails to withstand the bullish pressure and breaks, then yes, once again we could start looking at some higher levels. In terms of the downside here, well, we would need to see a break of this upside support line, and now probably what we're going to do here is, previously I looked at this 12,850 zone, what I'm going to do now here is look at this low of last week near the 12,754 54 level. Now a nice good drop below this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, further declines could be possible. So that's why for now, yep, keep your eyes on this one, and for now we are a little bit leaning more towards the upside. However, as I said, ideally I would prefer to see a push above this barrier first, this highlighted area right here, because all this area in between the upside support line and this barrier could be a bit of a tricky one. So that's why be very careful. Jumping into FTSE 100, and this one is popping nicely to the upside as well. It's gaining a little bit more than the German index, but at the same time it does remain a little bit on the difficult side. So previously I talked about this index, and I was saying that if we get a drop below this 5,857 zone marked by the low of the 3rd of August, now this is where, and by the way, the lowest point of August, that's where we could consider further declines if we, like I said, if we get a nice move below it. We did get a nice move below it last week especially, and we saw the daily candle remaining below this area, the weekly candle as well. However, now we're seeing a bit of a reversal here to the upside. So again, this kind of creates this a bit of a cautious atmosphere. it does kind of now mix up things a little bit here. In a way, of course, we would like to aim for some higher levels, and we could do, but probably what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep an eye on the I'm going to keep an eye on this 21-day EMA here, shown as the yellow line. So if we get a nice climb back above it, then yep, we could consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the upside. And the reason why I'm saying correction, because we do have this short-term tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of the 8th of June. So in a way, although yes, it is a bit of a tentative one, nevertheless it's still a downside line, so we'll keep an eye on down. But in order to aim for go for a bit of a larger move, a larger correction here to the upside, we would prefer to see a move back above the 21-day EMA. If by any chance this index today reverses back down and stays below the 5,857 territory right here, now this is where it could become again very interesting for the sellers, and we could see this index dropping lower towards this 5,661 zone marked by the low of the 14th of May, or in other words also the lowest point of May. Today the US markets are closed, so no mentioning of neither Dow, Nasdaq, or S&P. What I'm going to jump in here is the dollar index instead, and you can. This morning I was telling you guys to keep an eye on this 21-day EMA, because last week the index kind of kept on flirting with this line. As you can see, it managed to overcome it on Friday, but still closed below it. Now we can see that the our oscillators here are showing kind of are starting to rise after bottoming here around at the end of July, and now there is a potential for this one to maybe to go for a bit of a larger correction to the upside. And the reason why I'm saying correction, because we are still trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 23rd of March. So in a way, guys, for now, yes, this could push further north. However, just wait for that confirmation close of a daily candle here above this 21-day EMA, and then yes, we could take it from there. For now, it's still a little bit tricky because it keeps flirting with this 21-day EMA. So let's see if the bulls have enough steam to drive this one a little bit further north. Now jumping into silver, and silver is although below this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 17th of July, it still remains above that 21-day EMA here, as you can see here clearly. Now it did drift lower, but this is where it found support today and kind of reversed back to the upside. So for now, what we're going to do here is we're going to be very careful. Probably first of all, we'll get rid of this upside line, probably no longer needed, and mainly focus on some key support and resistance levels. Now in terms of the upside here, we would like to see a push back above the 28.31 zone, somewhere around here, and then consider a possible move higher. In terms of the downside, preferably a drop below the lows of the 25th of August and the 26th of August, which are roughly around the which are roughly near the 26.06 level. Now a drop below that, yep, would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, we could start maybe looking at some lower levels like the 24.40, or even below that, the 23.40. So in other words, guys, for now probably we're just gonna be playing the waiting game. Bitcoin, now a quick update here on this morning. I talked about this one, and basically the same idea remains. We need that confirmation kind of close of a daily candle below that psychological 10,000 zone, or in other words, we just need to the daily candle to remain, the body of it to remain below that psychological 10,000 zone. For now, you can see that the the crypto is just flirting with that level, with that psychological level. We did get an overshoot here today, but the bulls quickly pushed the price back above that 10,000 zone, and is just kind of currently balancing fractionally above it. Again, like I said, we need that daily candle moving below this psychological 10,000 zone in order to aim for some further declines. Now jumping into USDCHF, so this pair is moving nicely to the upside. Now I looked at this pair a while ago actually, and what I was saying, that keep your eyes on this short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 28th of May, and as you can see, the pair is now moving nicely to the upside, but we will class this move higher as a temporary correction for now, as long as it stays below this short-term, or actually more of a medium-term steeper downside resistance line here. So if this line remains intact, then we could see another round of selling. But if this gets broken, the pair might go for a larger correction, and in that case, if you want to be a little bit more on the cautious side, what you could do here is wait for a push above the high of the 3rd of August, or in other words the highest point of August near the 0.9242 zone, and then aim for some higher levels. So basically for now, guys, it is moving higher. Yes, that's great news for the buyers. However, let's see if the buyers are able to overcome this this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 28th of May. Jumping into GBPUSD, and this is where also kind of it is related, of course, to the US dollar for obvious reasons, but the interesting bit here is that yes, the pair is moving lower. Everything's what I was saying last week. Basically last week I was saying that if it starts dropping below the 1.3284 zone, then there is a possibility to see maybe a bit of a larger correction towards this first kind of steep upside support line taken from the low of the 30th of June. And if that gets a hold up here, we might see a nice rebound here and a push back to the upside. For those who are a little bit more on the cautious side, keep your eyes, of course, on this upside support line. If we get a nice rebound, then probably wait for a push back, at least back above the 1.3284 zone, and then we could aim for the upside. But at the moment, guys, given that the pair is in a decline mode, we are keeping a close eye on this upside line, because if it gets broken, then there's a chance for this pair to move even further south towards the other upside support line here, this medium-term upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March. So again, keep your eyes on that one. And finally, EURUSD. So similar story with the GBPUSD here, but the euro is holding on a little bit better than the pound against the US dollar, but it still is kind of on track to that idea that I've talked about this morning in my Traders Espresso, where I was saying that if we get a drop below this 21-day EMA and the 1.1815 territory right here, then yes, there is a possibility to see a bit of a larger correction here towards this upside support line taken from the low, the 14th of May. So for now, keep that idea in mind. But of course, like I said, let's see if it will move further south or not. But again, we need that. Ideally, we would like to see that daily candle remaining below this area, and then yep, we could consider a further move lower. Although don't get me wrong, there's not much space here, so not much space for maneuverability. So in a way, if it drops heavily below this 1.1815 zone, then probably might end up even testing this upside line straight away. So again, something for you guys to consider here. If we do see a test of this upside line, of course, all eyes are on the bulls. I mean, if they're will be capable to bring the rate back to the upside, and in that case, if they do lift the rate from this upside line after testing it, keep your eyes on the same 1.1815 level, because this time it could play out as a nice resistance level, a break of which could open the door towards higher areas if this upside line gets broken and the rate falls below the 1.1725 area, somewhere around here. Now this is where it could turn out to be a little bit ugly for the buyers in the at least in the short run. So okay guys, I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening. This was a quick review of some of the instruments that I looked at this morning and some new ones. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye.